2026 has a lot of different Star Wars projects releasing, and I mean a lot. From movies and shows to even some surprise video games, here's everything you need to know about what's to come this year. Movies. Starting with the only Star Wars movie coming out this year, we have the Mandalorian and Grogu film releasing on May 22nd. This movie will continue from where we left off in Season 3 of The Mandalorian and follow Din Djarin and Grogu as they now work together for the New Republic. At the moment, we don't know the official plot of the film yet, but we do know a few things. Actress Sigourney Weaver will be making her Star Wars debut as she'll be playing a character called Colonel Ward, who's a New Republic officer that hires Din for a big mission. Not only that, but Zeb from the animated show Star Wars Rebels will also have a big role in the film, and from the looks of it, we're going to be seeing him in action too. On top of that, Rada the Hutt from the Clone Wars movie is now all grown up, and he'll also be appearing in the film. Although we don't know what his place is in the movie, we do know that he'll be in a gladiator arena at one point and is voiced by actor Jeremy Allen White. This film will be the first Star Wars movie to be released in over 6 years, and we can expect to see a lot of development between Din and Grogu. As we saw in the trailer, Din does have his iconic Razor Crest ship back, and we even see them take down an Imperial Walker at one point together. Now again, we still don't know much about the film or its plot, but I'm sure in time we'll be getting all those answers and more. Shows. As for our shows releasing this year, we have a mix of both live action and animated shows coming out. One of the most anticipated series will be the animated show Maul Shadowlord. Now sadly, we don't have an official release date for it yet, but many speculate that it could come out in either February or March time. This show will follow Maul about 1 year after the events of Order 66, and really take us on his journey on how he rose to become a crime syndicate leader. Around this time, he'll be rebuilding the Crimson Dawn Syndicate, and even be taking on his own apprentice. From what was shown at Star Wars Celebration, he'll be having a mysterious Twi'lek apprentice. Although it's not confirmed, many fans think that this Twi'lek is actually Darth Talon, which would be a pretty cool addition if so. For this series, Maul will be voiced by actor Sam Witwer, who of course also voiced him in the Clone Wars. From what Sam has teased so far, the show will be pretty epic, and we'll be seeing a more mature, yet darker side to Maul throughout it. However, that's not the only show coming out this year. The next show releasing will be none other than Ahsoka Season 2. Similar to Maul Shadowlord, we don't have an official release date yet, but the show is wrapped up with filming and many believe that it'll come out around August time. As for the plot, the details are a bit vague for now, but we do know that Ahsoka, Sabine, and Baylan Skoll are on Peridea, meanwhile Ezra is with Hera in the New Republic. On top of that, Thrawn will continue his path on Dathomir along with the Great Mothers, based on what we saw in the Season 1 finale. Dave Filoni has confirmed that this season will be a lot more action-packed, and we'll be witnessing a big fight between Thrawn and Admiral Akbar. On top of that, actor Hayden Christensen will be returning as Anakin for the show, and will be having a much bigger role in this season. Although we don't know in what capacity he'll appear, we can assume that the majority of his screen time will be in Force Ghost form. Aside from that, most of the major cast members from Season 1 will also be returning, but there is one major change. Sadly, the incredible actor behind Baylan Skoll, Ray Stevenson, has passed away, and he will be recast by Rory McCann. This image right here is the first look at him, and since the team chose to recast Baylan, we can only assume that he'll have a major role in Season 2. As for our next show coming out, there will be a spin-off series to the show Star Wars Visions, and will be called The Ninth Jedi. This new spin-off will continue from the Ninth Jedi shorts from volumes 1 and 2 of Visions, and for those who haven't watched Visions, it's a completely non-canon and new approach to Star Wars. Visions has been an absolutely phenomenal show, and I have no doubt the Ninth Jedi will continue that trend. On to our next show releasing in the year. This one isn't confirmed, but I do assume we'll be getting another Tales series. We've already gotten Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, and Tales of the Underworld, so I do think we'll be getting another one of these short series. Personally, I'd love to see a Tales of the Sith series, and maybe see some stories one day following Palpatine's early years, or maybe even some Old Republic stories tied in. If a new Tales series does come out, we can expect it to release around May the 4th, just like the previous 2 years. Video games. Moving on to the video games releasing in 2026, we have 2 games coming out. The first is called Star Wars Zero Company. This game is a single-player turn-based tactics game and takes place during the Clone Wars. In the game, you'll be commanding an elite squad of clones called Zero Company, and you'll be basically going on intense missions throughout the war. Personally, I've never played this style of game before, but many say it's similar to Warhammer 40,000 and XCOM. Sadly though, we don't know a release date yet, but it will be out on all major platforms being PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Entering the next game coming out, this is none other than Star Wars Galactic Racer. This game will also be a single-player game, but is focused all around racing. Although we don't know much yet, we do know that the story will take place after the events of Return of the Jedi, and you'll be playing as a racer named Shade. The goal of the game is to earn respect as an elite racer, and you really get to work your way up to the top. What's great is that one of the developers of this game, Matt Webster, also worked on some other Star Wars projects in the past, such as Battlefront 2015 and Battlefront 2 that came out in 2017. Personally, those are two of my favorite Star Wars games, so if Galactic Racer could take any inspiration from those, I think we'll be in for a real treat. However, just like Zero Company, we don't know a release date yet, but we do know that it will also come out on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Books. As for Star Wars books releasing this year, we have a few. The first we have is Star Wars Outlaws Low Red Moon, written by Mike Chen. This novel is a prequel to the video game Star Wars Outlaws and follows the journey of both ND5 and Jalen Rax. The release date for this book will be on February 3rd. The next book coming out will be Star Wars Icons Darth Vader, which will be a reference book that dives into the creation of Vader. In it, there will be exclusive interviews from cast and crew, as well as original drafts from George Lucas himself when creating Vader. The release date for this book will be on April 21st. Then just a few weeks later, we'll be getting two updated books called Secrets of the Jedi and Secrets of the Sith, written by Mark Summerat. These two books will come from the viewpoints of Luke and Palpatine and will basically be journals to teach you everything about the light and the dark side. The release date for these two novels will be on May 12th. On July 21st, we'll be getting a brand new book called Eyes Like Stars by Ashley Poston, and it will actually be a romance novel. This book will take place about 1 year before the events of The Force Awakens and will focus around the love story between a young woman and a smuggler. Then just a week later on July 28th, we'll be getting another book called Star Wars Legacy, which will focus around the training between Leia and Rey. This book will take place between episodes 8 and 9 and will go into detail about the training Leia put Rey through, and also how Rey repaired Anakin's lightsaber that was destroyed in episode 8. Then on September 15th, we'll be introduced to another book called Reign of the Empire, Edge of the Abyss. This book will be a sequel to the novel The Mask of Fear, and will follow the stories of Bail Organa, Mon Mothma, and Saw Gerrera, all after the events of Revenge of the Sith. On top of these books so far, we'll also be receiving a few visual guidebooks this year, such as The Art of the Acolyte that releases February 3rd, The Phantom Menace, a visual archive that releases February 10th, The Mandalorian Visual Guide that releases April 28th, and finally The Art of Andor that releases June 30th. Comics. As for comics this year, we have a few that will continue on from 2025, while also some brand new ones. Some comics that will continue are the Star Wars Marvel comics, the Star Wars Legacy of Vader comics, the Han Solo Hunt for the Falcon comics, and the Star Wars Jedi Knights comics. On top of that, we'll also be receiving some new issues such as one called Star Wars Jar Jar that will come out on February 11th. This comic will be a fun one as it follows Jar Jar's life right after Order 66, and in it he'll even be teaming up with the Jedi Kelleran Beck. Honestly, this will be pretty cool, mainly because actor Ahmed Best played both Jar Jar and Kelleran Beck, so having his two characters together will be a pretty awesome story, I think. However, the next comic on our list is the one I'm personally most excited for. On March 4th, we'll be getting a new comic called Shadow of Maul, which will be a prequel to the Maul Shadow Lord show. This comic series will be written by Benjamin Percy and will follow Maul's journey right before the events of his spin-off show. Although we don't know many details about it yet, we do know that it comes out in March, so that might give us a good idea of when the show will be released. Then later in the year, we have a few more comics coming out, such as a new Bad Batch comic called Rogue Agents, a High Republic comic called Pathfinders releasing March 11th, a new Grievous story called Hyperspace Stories Grievous releasing March 17th, then lastly a Star Wars Visions comic called Tsukumo that comes out on July 26th. With those final comics, that concludes our list of every single Star Wars project coming out in 2026. But I want to know from you, out of everything we've spoken about, which project are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you always.